All right, boys, we have patch notes here for college football 26. This is going to be the update coming this July 24th on Thursday. Gentlemen, I will say I am on my travel mic, so sorry if I sound a little different. We're going to be talking about the gameplay patch notes today, all the Dynasty stuff. I'm just going to let you guys who are interested in that go to the link that I check out those updates. I want to talk about gameplay here just because here we're pretty much a cut channel, and we pretty much base all of our guides out of Ultimate Team. So just want to make sure we're kind of sticking to our group so I don't comment on things I don't know about. But a rather short gameplay patch note, unfortunately, but we're going to go ahead and discuss it here. Fixed an issue where play art remained visible after the snap when using home field advantage. That is huge. Fixed a rare issue causing a player to freeze in place during hit stick attempts. Fixed an issue preventing stunts and twists from activating properly when selecting from the play call menu in online games. That is awesome. Even though sometimes I thought mine worked for the most part, but certainly this issue did occur at times. I don't know if it was like playbook specific or what, but I noticed a lot of people talking about this. I really didn't have the problem, but glad it got addressed. Fixed an issue sometimes preventing a catch animation from playing when clicking on and taking control of the wide receiver. This was the biggest thing that I was talking about. Okay, like I said, I'm on the road right now, guys, and our gameplays, you're not going to have my live comm, but such a huge issue for me. I feel like if you were to say this sometimes happened, I feel like you played the game sometimes. I don't know. This happens to me multiple times throughout the game. I'm very curious to see Thursday how this feels, because right now in the current state of Ultimate Team quarterbacks, you constantly have to click on and go for the ball. And where this issue is so common, at least in my games, with how my pass settings are, I'm very excited to try it out. I hope it is fixed like they claim. Very, very interesting. That's good news. A variety of tuning and animation improvements to physics-based tackling. All right. A variety of game stability improvements. Very vague, but maybe the game will run better. Fixed an issue. Actually, maybe game stability could be the audible locks. Hopefully, you know, pass protection, locking, and all that is included when they say game stability. I doubt it. But anyway, up next we have fixed an issue causing blockers on power plays to sometimes take their initial movement in the wrong direction. That's terrible. That is it. And that is rather disappointing because there is some key issues I'd like to talk about that need to be addressed, hopefully before Madden drops, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Obviously, guys, number one, we all know drop picks are an issue. Listen, I understand that this game is, you know, it's catered to more casual players, which I think is awesome. I think that Madden is genuinely a really hard game, and I feel like people don't give that enough credit because it's based off a real-life sport. Madden is very difficult to play, so I'm glad that there is a game like college football to cater to a more casual audience who can go in and kind of beat anybody on any game, and then they'll lose at any point. I do think that's kind of a decent idea. Obviously, you know, if you guys are watching this channel and you guys are looking up guides, you're probably trying to be a little more competitive. So just like me, you guys probably love college football, but also hate it at the same time. You're waiting on Madden. I do think it's a good game, so I understand why drop picks are in it. But still, I do feel like the problem with drop picks also is the fact that if you have a quarterback who's throwing the ball up and there's two safeties in the area, if you were to click B or circle to try and switch on, I'm sure you guys have noticed, or if you go back and watch your clips, maybe it's just me, but sometimes the game just puts you on the DB furthest away. I think that's a problem. I think that's a huge problem. I think it's one of the reasons we're having so many drop picks is because there's a lot of instances where we're turning on to the player that's slightly further away and we're not in position to be able to click on, go for the pick. We're just out of position and the game's forcing us there. So I think that's one of the main reasons with drop picks, besides the fact that our guys just have all thumbs and they're absolutely trash at going for the ball in defense. Another issue I'd like to talk about is just hot route freezing. It's way too common where if you're going too fast and you're trying to show your play art while still making adjustments, your receivers will just go on like whatever the right trigger wants them to go. So I'll try and put my tight end on drag and show my play, and now he's on like the right trigger option route. And I know that, you know, the fix to that is to just slow the tempo down. But guys, if you guys play CFB consistently, you guys know that once you hit 5 seconds on your play clock, you're going to get into like penalty range. That can't be an issue at all. We need, you know, speed because that's literally just how this game is played. So that needs to be addressed. Another main issue is QB locking animations. If you guys are in like any, I don't know exactly the formations, but there are situations where if you like don't snap the ball and immediately hold right trigger to roll out, your quarterback, if you're trying to roll out later in the play, can just sometimes completely like freeze up in some like walking animation. I don't have footage right now because I'm on the road. I do apologize, but I talked about it in our streams. I I have talked about it in some of the gameplay that's been unreleased, but that needs to be addressed too. I'm sure some of you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't know what qualifies for it. I don't know if it's the opponent having 4 D linemen on the field or 3 D linemen. I'm not sure, but I do know it's a problem. It needs to be corrected. I also feel like, listen, it's time to bite the bullet and reintroduce baseline. I feel like that is one of the easiest ways to correct the complaints found on defense. At least because it's such a run-heavy game as well. I feel like adding baseline, it's not going to be in a way that will completely just make sweats dominate the game. Bring baseline back. I'm never going to forget this. You have stolen my rights and stripped away my right to play defense by removing baseline EA, and you are trying to ruin my reputation. It's just my opinion. Anyway, we need baseline back in the game. And then finally, kind of just a simple one. Hard flats are kind of broken. If you're to shade underneath, guys, they just don't work sometimes. And then like shading over the top can just like screw you. If you were to shade over the top in a cover 2, and you guys can do this in practice mode right now, if you guys shade over the top, your flats will not go back as if like you weren't to shade over top. They actually just, it's ass. We need to fix shading, okay? I'm sorry I can't provide gameplay right now. I'm on the road, but I just wanted to put in some of my key things that I want fixed, hopefully before Madden comes out. I know game development is really hard. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's easy or berate the developers. This is a very fast going game where things are constantly getting updated, and you only have so much time until the next game comes out. So I'm not going to like completely drag these guys, but I do hope that it is at least spoken of and identified, and hopefully we can have it as soon as possible. So if you guys have any recommendations for anything, maybe there's somebody out there at EA that's watching this channel, maybe they'll check it out, leave them in the comments. Hopefully we can keep it positive. I know we all get frustrated at times, but obviously, you know, those people are human as well. So let's not berate anybody. Let's keep it productive, and hopefully we'll see this game move in the right direction. I do love this game. Think it's been a really good drop so far. Obviously, I have the same frustrations as everybody else. So if you guys have any other known issues that you'd like to talk about and discuss, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you boys in the next one. Thanks for watching, fellas. Peace.